All right, all right. Greetings, everyone. How's everybody this morning? I'm right on time, right on time. Man, I got a real good teaching today. You know, divine conversations always spark intelligent thoughts. And these intelligent thoughts marinate in your mind as you dwell on the positive, how you can share with others. Now, I had a wonderful discussion with a very dear friend, and it brought out some things that I've never said before on here. So I said, well, let me share with everyone as a record in time so you can always go back and review what was said. Oh, by the way, I like this prop because it reminds me of what we all are here to do is to teach and to pass on knowledge to the next generation. And I started this podcast without pictures for the specific purpose you won't be distracted by my appearance. I want you to listen. I want you to hear the message, not focus on what I have or what I don't have. That is the most important, is the words I speak. I speak words from the ancestors. That's why I like these ancestral pictures. That's the words I speak from. And we all are the ancestors returned. You know, there's a rhythm of life. We go and come back. We go and come back. It may be a lot of people, but the expressions we have are not. In other words, everything can be boiled down to 7 expressions, which I want to talk a little bit about. But I have to be careful because I can't go over 20 minutes. 20 minutes, before 20 minutes is the limit I put on this podcast. So some of y'all are impatient. You're not going to wait till the end. That's okay. It's not for you. Those who stay around will get the goodies because that's the only price you have to pay is a little of your time. So, greetings everyone again. This is we call ourselves today the 10 o'clock scholar. And he comes on all time of the night and day, bringing knowledge and wisdom to share with the family. The family and those who stop by, they get a blessing too. It can be for you since you stop by. It could be for you as well. The idea of diet, let's get into it. The idea of diet came up. Certain diets our ancestors ate. And I'm telling you, a lot of the diet was forced on us. A lot of the diet is forced on us. And the way you can figure out what the diet was is you look at the people who are ruling and see what they eat. Not all of what they eat, but some of what they eat. Because they're the ones who have taken the knowledge and applied it and hid it from us. Let's take, for example, shrimps and crabs. A dear friend told me, you're not black if you don't like crabs. You know, that's a cultural food that all black people enjoy. We're going to come back to that word black in a minute. But yes, you know, we're not to eat those things. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, I may come back later and give you a scripture in another video quoting the scriptures. But you can Ask AI. You know, things are really easy these days. You don't have to take a lot of time to do research. You ask AI, it's going to give you the Eurocentric view. In other words, what's common knowledge. If you want deeper knowledge, you got to know how to talk to AI because it's going to hide certain information from you by design. That don't mean that the computer's lying. It means that they just don't want you to know as much as they know. But if you ask the right questions, you get the right response. Now, why do I say crabs and things like shrimps are not good for us? Well, there's a law. It's a law of correspondence. This law says, as above, so below, as within, so without. Through contrast, we walk through the doorway of wholeness. That means that if you find something taking place on this plane of existence, you find the same thing on another plane of existence, just different levels. Give you an example. We have roaches, right? What do roaches do? They crawl on the earth and they eat the small insects. They eat dead. They eat the dead too. Y'all know that? Roaches, like ants, feed off of the dead. And let's go to the water. You also have roaches. Now this is gonna be hard for some of y'all because y'all been eating roaches all y'all life. What is it that crawls at the bottom of the ocean and live off of the dead? The dead is the always fall to the bottom of the ocean, right? What do you find down there? You find crabs, you find shrimps. Crabs is a crustacean. A roach is a crustacean. And it may have something to do with living at the crust of the earth. Living on the crust of the earth. Could that be why it's called crustacean? Because the crust of the earth is the ground on this plane. In the waters, the crust of the earth is the bottom of the ocean or the bottom of the sea or whatever water there is. And everything that dies has to be transformed. Nothing is wasted. It has to be transformed to soil. So the roaches on this plane, the ants, the maggots, what have you, they devour things and return it back to form. That's how it could back. You cause things to be dissolved back into its essence. In this case, it'd be the soil. So it's no different in the ocean. These things are dead things float to the bottom, and things at the bottom have to transform them back into being soil. But however, these things are not to be eaten. You can find in the Bible that if fish doesn't have fins, you are not supposed to eat that fish. Okay, you say crabs, shrimps, lobsters are not fish. Okay, that's true. They don't have fins. So that's not something you should eat. They clean up the oceans and waterways. They transform the dead matter back to whatever. So you can ask AI what is it against the law of Moses to eat any fish that without fins? It'll tell you what not to eat. See, I listened to Elijah Muhammad years and years ago, and I read How to Eat to Live. He told us very clearly a lot of the foods that we eat was given to us by this man who called us our slave master. And what did he call you? He called you Negro, colored, and black. So yes, it's true. We are not black if you don't eat those things. That's food for black people to eat. Now you look at the rich these days. You look at the people who have power and wealth. Do you see them eating those foods? Shrimps, crabs? No. It's disgusting to them because they have a knowledge that was hidden from us. They told us this is your food, this is your culture food. If you don't eat this food, you're not black. So we don't eat that food because we are not black. Black is a term that relates to slavery, meaning everything you know or have was given to you by the man who dominated you. So leave that tradition alone of following what those ancestors ate. They did that to survive. That was survival food. We wasn't given the right food to eat. So it's time to let those foods go. I'm not saying it. The Creator says it. Go read the Bible. It tells you what to eat, what not to eat. And as far as being a vegetarian, I can show you, if you ask me a question, it says in the Bible that the seed is the source of life. That the seed meaning foods that have seeds. That's what you eat. It heals anything you have. It will heal any condition you have. So a lot of y'all like to quote the New Testament. That's good. But Jesus didn't come to destroy the law. He came to fulfill it. Meaning don't throw away the Old Testament because it also should be followed. This is for those who follow the Bible. It's all there. You just don't read it. But it tells you what to eat. And it tells you those things like, man, roaches of the sea, you're not supposed to eat them, okay? So I'm going to cut this short. I don't want to go too long. But I just want you to hear this message and do your own research. Find out what you're supposed to eat in the Old Testament. Just ask AI. It's going to tell you the truth. Everyone knows that, but those who call themselves black, meaning you're still a slave if you call yourself black. Your ancestors did not call themselves black. But you don't know that because you don't know who they are. So we got a lot of work to do, okay? Well, thank y'all for listening. That's it for now.